Hey everybody, welcome to RefTime, powered by RTS and produced by Coraggio Media. I'm Tanya.
And I'm Crane. We'll be covering rules, plays, points of emphasis, and all. Good afternoon. Welcome to another segment of RefTime. I'm your host, Crane Hearn, along with Tanya Hearn, and we have a famous coach with us here today. Let me practice her name. It's the great, the one, the only, the past, the present, the future, Brittani Turner.
Hey, everybody.
That was the one and only time you're going to look at the camera, right?
Right, that's it. No more.
And you know, I normally will do that, but yours drug out just a little bit further because you're more special, Brittani.
I appreciate that.
You feel that? You appreciate that?
I feel the love.
Wearing this, showing off her green today.
Yeah.
South side.
Although she's actually a dual coach,
I am.
so she coaches
Volleyball at Southside.
and basketball.
Basketball at Canterbury.
Yep.
Wow.
But in all honesty, though, green is part of Canterbury. It's part of their crest, so
It is.
so you
Green,
are
blue,
kind of
and
dual,
white.
So you got them both covered today.
except the SS there. But you know,
If you turn, you can't really see it.
Dip that shoulder down a little
Dip
bit.
the shoulder. It's just green.
Well, thanks for joining us, Miss Brittani. We appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good time today. Gonna talk about a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Okay.
So you told us before the show that I didn't realize you graduated from Canterbury.
I did.
And you came out what year?
2005.
Okay. And you were there for 4 years?
Yep. I actually went there 6th grade through 12th grade.
Oh, so you one of those long-term Canterbury chillins.
A little bit.
a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah,
I didn't get the 12 year,
You
right?
did 12 years?
Yeah.
I know it's what a lot of
Because there's
students talk
12.
about
There's
out
what 14 years or something.
Yeah,
Because they
'cause
started
you
them out
started
in
like
preschool.
two or three.
Wow.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So since you went there from 6 to 12, I can only assume that you had a good stint there. I mean, you enjoyed your time at Canterbury?
Yeah.
Good.
I did.
And you played how many sports?
High school, I just did basketball and volleyball. Middle school, I did basketball, volleyball, and tennis.
But you gave up tennis in high school.
I did.
Why?
I had bone spurs. And the
Okay.
doctor was like, you got to choose something. I was like, okay, bye, tennis. It's on concrete. It's outside. I wasn't.
Oh, that makes sense.
fine
Yeah, we're the
with
same
outdoor
way. We don't like to
sports,
ref
but-
outside either.
Yeah, I don't do outdoor activities.
Yeah, I didn't.
Okay.
I mean, I love tennis. Don't get me wrong. But if they said you had to choose, I was like, okay,
Right.
there you
If you
go.
can't control the weather, we go indoors.
Going inside.
I feel you.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what do you do for a living?
I am a secretary at elementary school, Forest Park.
Forest Park Elementary?
Mhm.
How long you been doing that?
5. It's been my 5th year, maybe 6th.
So that means you're one of those people that's like very, very, very organized. Wow.
In my own way.
So at work.
Right, at
I
work.
mean, it was like crickets. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I have my own methods. So
Well,
yeah.
your method must be effective if they kept you around for 5 years.
Yeah. I'm pretty good at my job.
And you have a daughter
I do.
with her. I love picking on her.
Yeah.
You didn't bring her here today.
No, she's out of town.
Okay,
She's
well, I
out
would
of
have loved to
town.
pick on her.
Well, you can say hi to her, give her a little shout out because she might watch us.
Hey, Brooklyn.
And you know, the truth be told, Brooklyn picks on me probably just as much as I pick on
She
her.
does.
You
She-
deserve it.
I don't deserve it. It's the love thing going back. and forth.
That's why you deserve it.
Yeah, last time I picked on her, she gave it right back. I was like, oh, this child, okay.
She did. It
Yeah.
was quick.
I mean,
was
she
like,
didn't
"Ooh."
hesitate. I was like, okay. Like, you don't even know me talking to me like that. You don't know me either. Okay, we're on the same page.
Yeah, sometimes.
And she gets that from her mom, is it?
Grandmother.
Grandmother.
Great-grandmother. Maybe a little bit from me. Just
Maybe,
a little bit.
maybe just a little bit from you.
No bit.
A little bit.
So you've been at Fort Wayne for all your life?
Yeah. That I can remember.
Turner. I don't know a lot of Turners.
My grandfather is Tom Turner. He sold cars at Kelly Chevrolet. That's how most people
I might
my
know
family.
him. Probably know him.
Yeah.
So when you played sports at Canterbury, did you have a lot of family support come out and watch you all the time?
Oh yeah, they were at every game. Mom, grandma, and grandpa, they didn't
Which
miss.
one was the loudest?
Depending on the place. My grandmother would probably say my grandfather was the loudest consistently, but I always heard my mom.
Now, were they screaming for you on good plays, or were they screaming at the officials from time to time? Or
My grandmother would yell at the officials. She actually had an official bring her a whistle, Rondo. He would bring her a whistle because she had bad knees, so she wouldn't go up in the stands. She would always sit at the end of the bench, and she would be on him. And after all, he was like, "Nana, here, so you can help me out." Now my grandfather,
Joe Rondo,
he cheered for everybody, all the girls. You know, my mom, well, I said I would hear her because she would cheer for me, but if I did something wrong, I knew it too. She's like, "No, what are you doing?" Her favorite was, "If you're gonna get a foul, make it count."
Yeah, make it
I
count.
like that.
I like that.
That was
though.
her favorite, and
Yeah.
I'd be like, "All right, so I gotta knock somebody out."
That's what we told our kids. Look, you get 5 fouls, use them.
use them wisely.
Use them wisely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she'd be like, "Don't get no little patty cake
That's
foul. We're
right.
not
Don't
doing
foul
that."
somebody and
something in their
then
mind.
and then they make the basket too.
Yep.
Send them to the free throw line with an arm dangling.
Yeah, make it count. So,
And so you played basketball
volleyball.
and volleyball. So I gotta ask, which was your favorite sport to play?
To play, I would say it's kind of equal.
Equal.
Yeah.
Which is your favorite sport to watch?
Probably volleyball.
And which sport do you think your parents and your coaches would say you were better at?
My grandma always said I was better at volleyball.
Okay.
Were you a hitter or
Yeah, middle hitter.
middle?
Well, middle and outside. I started as an outside and then finished as a middle.
Okay.
My coaches,
I mean, they're all biased.
yeah, I was
Right,
to say,
yeah.
whoever I was helping out, I guess, I don't know.
But sometimes you have a player who will play dual sports, and a coach on one or the other will say, "I know you're better at this, but we still need you to play strong here." You never heard that?
No. But I also had 3 or 4 different volleyball coaches the time I was there,
okay.
so.
A lot of transition.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you ask me which one I enjoyed playing more in high school, it was basketball. It was way more
Who
consistency.
was your coach then?
Coach Krieger, Scott
Okay.
Krieger.
Okay, Scott. He was the
younger one.
Son, the
Yep.
younger. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Sydney, she played at Canterbury, and I don't know if
She only had Krieger her freshman year because that was the last year Darby was there. She had the older
right.
Wayne-
Which sport
Wayne
would you say Sydney's favorite sport was?
basketball.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she refs basketball.
But what's interesting is her senior year she picked up playing softball, and
she was good at
she
it.
was very good at it, almost like natural. She didn't have the timing down on batting, but they had her at first base. So, I mean, she could stretch, she could, she had long arms. So
And
she
she's
was
a
able,
lefty.
Yeah, and she was a
Yeah, I
lefty.
do remember that.
And so, the coach at that point, Mark Little, he was always like, "Oh, why didn't she come out and play earlier?" As a matter of fact, I just saw him about a month ago, and he said the same thing. He was like, "Oh, just tell Sydney that that was one of my favorite times was just
Yeah.
having her. I just wish she would have played longer."
He asked me to help with softball. 1 is outdoors. 2, I know nothing of it. I was like, yeah, no, thank you.
Well,
okay.
and it's not real good to put a mitt on your pretty nails.
Yeah, no. I
So,
get mad at during volleyball sometimes when I have to cut them. I have to do drills and
Right.
demonstrate. And I'm like, you guys aren't getting it. Now I have to cut my nails so that I can.
I see. I got to tell you.
That's
when I
kind of
was-
dedicated, though. I mean, if you got to cut your nails to go,
Yeah, but see, when I was coming up, girls didn't have nails that long,
Right.
number one. And if they did have nails, well, the athletes didn't have nails.
I had them.
But I said when I was coming along.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
did.
You're just a
You're right.
smidge younger than
Just
me.
a little bit. Just a smidge. But I have the athletic cut then. Now I'm
Oh, don't
coach,
even
so
try it.
I
There's
did
no
have the
such thing as an
athletic.
No,
athletic cut.
I had a girl
What's
playing.
an athletic cut?
I had a girl playing last couple years. She was the setter. Her nails were longer than that. I was like, I don't even understand how you're doing that.
Yeah, that's rough.
I mean, scary.
Because I don't like to demonstrate setting when my nails are this
Right.
long. Because I'm like, oh, it's going to
Yeah,
break.
but she was an excellent setter. Excellent setter. I just didn't. I'm like, what?
She used her nails to set.
Yeah.
Nah, she'd have to get her hand, But
I don't know how y'all operate with all
all right. So how long you been coaching?
Oh, my daughter's 10, so I'll say 9 years.
Is that both sports, or did you start one and then?
Both sports. I started, I had her in 2013, fall of 2014, I started coaching middle school volleyball and then went into basketball that season right after. And
So your daughter's 11 years old now?
she will be in December
Oh, okay. What, December what?
30th.
Okay.
Oh.
Close to mine. I'm December
Oh,
4th.
see, that's what that's
Yeah,
that.
That's that bond, I guess. So you, can we get her to come over to the dark side, you think?
No.
Oh,
You need to come over to the dark side. You need to drop coaching and come on over to the
She
Drop
might
coaching?
one day, but
One day.
You don't
She
have to
might one
drop. No, don't
One
give them the
day.
1 day out. Because
Maybe
when you say
one
1
day.
day, they're
She
talking
might one
the year
day.
2081. That's what it is.
no, because I don't think any of us will be around that long.
Y'all will be around that long.
I will tell you this. I would love to learn to learn all the rules.
I'm so glad you said that. Here
I
we
would
go.
So
First question we have for
Hold
you.
on,
You
hold
doing
on, hold
volleyball
on.
or basketball first?
hold on.
She said she wants to learn, and I want to teach.
Not right now. We'll give it a few more minutes.
No, I got to ask questions throughout.
He gonna try to stump me.
No, I'm
so
not-
then
don't
he'll
be-
be like, "This is why you need to come to the
You
dark side."
You do need to learn. And actually, we did have we had a basketball coach, varsity basketball coach that came through our class a couple years ago, and that was part of her reasoning was she wanted to understand officials from the officiating side. Like, why are we calling this? What
What are you guys
What
looking
angles
for?
are we looking at? You know, all that
Yes.
kind of stuff. And so after the class, I mean, we actually, she did some games and got out on the court because that's part of it. If you don't, just knowing the rules doesn't mean anything. But knowing how to apply them, when to apply them, how to communicate to a coach, how to communicate with your partner, all of that goes into it. And so
Can I ask my question now?
she did very well, and so now as a head coach, she understands, a little better. She still, I think she's gotten a tech once or twice since the class, but it's only because,
And what's
just-
crazy is she didn't get text before the class.
No, I think she did. I think she did.
No, she had one tech and she was livid about it. And she, now that's the one thing when coaches come through and they get trained,
Yeah.
then their head gets a little bigger. Some
Yeah.
of them.
Well, I
Some.
know that's the
I
rule.
mean, right? Because now we
Yeah.
know what we're questioning you about.
Yeah, but
But
you
it's
got-
also
It's judgment,
you
too.
also have to approach it from the right perspective
Correct.
too. You can't just be like, I mean, when I'm out doing games and I have a guy or a female, whatever, and they're like, well, I ref too. Okay, but you're not.
You're
you're
not a
coaching.
ref right now. You're a coach.
You're
right
coaching right now. You're not reffing. So you're not looking at it from my perspective because I don't care who wins the game.
Yeah.
You do as
And
a
she
coach.
says it just like that too at the game.
No, she says it nastier.
No, I don't.
So
Maybe my
eyes
face.
telling all of a your face. I'm like, oh,
she has the attitude now.
Oh, my
That
daughter.
made Tanya mad.
My daughter and I were talking about that the other day. We were working together, and she goes, "Yeah, such and such told me I need to change my face." I said, "I've been telling you that."
Yeah,
Because
you
it's
can't-
all.
you
It's all.
can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sydney gets a
hard.
I
It
don't
is.
give
That's
a look on her
Yeah,
face.
she
Oh,
does.
definitely.
Oh, yeah,
And
and
she
she gets
tells
it
me-
honestly.
She tells
She
me
really
when
does.
she says, I know you're getting ready to tech a coach. I was like, how? She goes, that eyebrow goes up. It's like, wow, I got to work on that. So if during a match you say something to me and I look at you like this,
I'm like, dang, all right.
now something's bad getting ready to happen.
I'm gonna go sit this
eyebrow.
one out for a minute.
Let me go sit down and rethink what I'm going
Right.
to say
And
here.
As a ref, we don't like those tells.
Right,
When
right.
somebody tells like, oh, gotta keep my
Clean my
eyebrows-
face.
gotta keep my eyebrows down. All right, first question.
Okay.
This is gonna be an easy one. Okay.
This is volleyball.
This is volleyball.
All right.
The referee shall stop play when the ball contacts the supports of a backboard hanging in the vertical position over a playable area. Is that true or is that false? Let me read it again.
Over a playable area?
Yeah, a referee shall stop play when the ball contacts the supports of a backboard hanging in the vertical position over a playable area. True or false? Come on, Candy's on the line. Don't you reach your hand over until you get the answer right.
No,
She started to reach. I saw her reaching.
they can stop. They can stop play if they feel like the player's not safe. It's false. It's false.
Did
it's
I
false.
ask?
It's false.
Viewing audience, I asked for a true or false. Didn't
It's
I?
true. It's true.
Stop
You
cheating.
wanna know why?
And stop looking at
no,
my answers.
I can't see that far.
I saw you looking at them.
Because you can stop the game whenever you want to.
Oh,
That's
here
what
we-
you have the power to do that.
That is the wimpiest answer
All right, you can do it. You can stop.
All right, so you have to think about it. Think about the backboard, right?
Yeah.
And it's over your playable area. Okay? If the ball hits that, what happens? Is it live or is it dead? Is it playable?
Yeah, if it's over the playable
So you have to think about the backboard is up and down. It's not up.
It's not up
it's
in
sitting
horizontal,
down.
it's a vertical position. So
So
over
if it
the playing
hits
area.
that, do we stop it or do we let it go?
You stop it.
Yes.
True. And she was guessing. She said, you stop it. Like, am I right? All right, you get some candy.
Okay.
One.
Okay.
Because we got a lot of answers.
We got a lot of questions
Well, yeah.
and answers.
All right. So we're not going to give you another one right now. We're gonna move on. You don't
See,
get
I was
them all in a
ready.
row.
I was like, okay,
No, I
let's
gotta
go. We're taking
Look,
this
as
test.
refs, we get caught off guard all the time.
Got to be ready.
So
Got to be
you
ready
gotta
to blow that whistle.
And you can't, as a ref, you cannot roll your eyes like that.
I definitely will have to work on that.
I can see her out in the court. It's coach.
Ooh,
Just roll your eyes.
Coaching.
Well, he had a guy last week, a coach, that was giving him a hard time. It was volleyball. It was literally like scrimmage volleyball. And this guy is losing his stuff because he called out of rotation because the girls
Right.
left early. And he's like, I told her 3 times to stop leaving early.
And she's still doing it.
And she was still doing it.
And
so.
it was a scrimmage, grant you that. And he goes, this is a scrimmage. And I'm looking around
But she
like,
still have to learn.
She still.
Because if you do it in a game, what's the point?
Yeah.
and I'm thinking, I'm helping
I would
you.
rather
Yeah.
you learn. I would rather my girls learn in a scrimmage setting.
Yes.
I thought I was helping him.
Call it now,
But he
so
didn't-
that way when it comes to game time,
Yeah.
my girl knows better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I went, after the first set, I went over, because I think they lost that one. I went over, and it was just playing 2 sets. It was varsity, playing 2 sets, and it didn't matter. So I go over and ask the other coach, I said, that coach is upset with me because I called this girl out of rotation because she's leaving too early. He goes, oh, I knew you were going to call it. I said, what do you mean? He goes, you call it every time. I said, well, then I'm consistent. He goes, oh, yeah, absolutely. He said, I told my girl, you see he's calling it, don't leave because he's going to call it. And before the match started, before the set started, he's out there on the court, and I'm waiting for him to get out of the way, and he's over there telling her, okay, he will call it. And he goes, do you understand? He will.
Well, and the thing about it, I think the girls get so used to
Yeah.
club
Yes.
where there's only one official, and there was only
And we
one.
can't catch it all.
And we can't catch it all.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they get away with it.
Yeah.
They leave early. I mean, half the time they're overlapped before we even blow for serve. You know, I had the setup, and I was looking at the girl. I was like, "Get back!" And she, "Oh, okay." And so she, she steps back because a lot of times, we don't call it because we don't see it when there's only one official.
Yeah.
And so,
So a question I have for you, Coach Brittani.
Yes.
When you are dealing with officials, do you prefer that officials call it tighter or more lax? The games, the matches. And is there a difference between volleyball and basketball?
I think that honestly, if it's a long night, you're like, okay, call it loose, whatever. But to help my girls, call it tight. Call it tight. Then they get in the habit of not being so loose with those bad habits, right? But
So how are we supposed to know? I mean, we don't know, because you said if it's a long night, how are we supposed to know? I'm kind of putting you on the spot, but I really want to know because different coaches give me different answers. Like and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but when I asked that coach, the one coach, how I said, I'm calling, do you guys want me to call this because it's preseason? And he goes, no, absolutely. He says, Crane, I knew you were going to call it, and I want you to call it. And I said, well, he doesn't. He goes, well, I don't know. So I go over and ask him, and I said, Coach, I called that. He goes, yeah, I said, it's preseason. You guys are supposed to be getting ready for the season. If you want me to call it lax, I will. I said, because he doesn't really care if you guys want me to, but I thought you wanted me to get the kids ready. And he goes, whatever, it doesn't matter.
he probably just wanted his girls to get touches. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah,
that's the
and
way
that
to
makes
look at
sense
it. He
too.
just want to just get in a repetition, get in the touches.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
those things also come along with it because in a season game,
yeah.
you might get a touch, you might not. But
Right.
if you're out of rotation, we don't get anything.
Right,
So-
right. Yeah.
Basketball, I just want it to be fair. You call it tight, you call it loose. But if my girl pushes somebody halfway down the court and you call it, their girl pushes my girl halfway down the court, call it. That's it.
So the consistency.
More consistency. That's it, consistency.
Which is what we hear, especially in basketball. We always hear from coaches that they want consistency. But if you've ever heard me talk about it, I always tell people, I'm like, consistency, we can only be as consistent as the kids are. Because, you know, where your team might come out, you know, and be blowing the other team out in the first half, the second half, they come out after that, you know, 10-minute halftime, and they've now somehow communicated with their boyfriend or done something or whatever. Now they come out and their mood is all funky, and now they're a totally different team. Now the other team comes out and they're winning, and now the next thing I know, it's my fault that y'all ain't playing the way you was in the first half. And I'm like, wait a minute. So.
But you don't have that problem on your team, do you?
No, never. Never. No cell phones during the game.
So let's talk about the participation that you got at both schools.
Okay.
At Southside, you've got the basketball, or volleyball, I'm sorry.
Volleyball.
And you've got strong participation?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This will be my third season, and I've had enough girls for freshman, JV, and varsity each year.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're one of the few Fort Wayne community schools that
that's rare
have.
nowadays.
Yeah, because we struggle getting freshman games.
Yeah, because there's nobody else in the area.
So what do you think, and I'm being serious on this, do you think it's your presence, your style, that's making the girls want to play and attracting more volleyball players?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really? I mean, because they don't, well, I guess they're going off of what the other girls are
Word of
telling
mouth.
them. Word of mouth, yeah. So.
What do you think you do differently that is attracting volleyball players or volleyball interest versus other schools that are struggling to keep a freshman JV and varsity team?
I think that the perception of it is different. So, of course, I want highly skilled girls, you know, but I meet a lot of girls where they are.
Okay.
And a lot of them are coming from middle schools that didn't have an actual volleyball coach. Or, you know, it may have been a parent or a volunteer, somebody that just had the time to do it, but not necessarily the time to teach them volleyball. So now they want to play in high school, but they're like, I'm nervous because, you know, our team wasn't that good and, you know, but I just like, well, just come see. Just come see.
Right.
If you don't like it, I'll still speak to you in the hallway. You don't have to stay.
Right.
You know, that's fine. But just come see. And then when they come and I see where they are, I mean, I'll take girls to the side and work with them while the other coaches are, not saying the other coaches don't, but I think if you have some of those schools that are powerhouses, it's intimidating to come in if you already feel like you're at a deficit.
And, you know, I think another advantage you may have going on, just listening to you talk, and your youth. I think you have that going for you too. A lot of the coaches in the area are probably older, and if not, they act older. And you kind of relate to them on their level. Like you say, you meet them where they are. I think that's probably a huge, and you still look very young. And I think a lot of kids nowadays can relate to that.
Yeah.
So
It helps.
yes.
Do you have any particular highlights or anything from either basketball or volleyball that you can share with our peoples?
For the team overall?
Yeah.
So my first year, we went 8-17, which for some doesn't sound great, but I guess the year before, I think they said they won like 4 games or something like that.
So you doubled it?
I doubled it. That was good. I got SAC Coach of the Year the first year.
Nice. Congratulations.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
Yes. I don't say stuff, but people, but it was nice to have other coaches that have been doing it forever be like, wow, you did a really good job with this team. Like that.
That acknowledgement.
Yeah, because SAC has amazing coaches.
Yeah.
I mean, at my first year, Tony Terrell was coaching and Snyder's Andrew, you know, and Homestead coach, Lewis coach, like all these teams who have amazing programs, you know, Dwanger's coach, she was really young, but her program's amazing, you know, to be like, hey, you did a good job. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Cool. That made me feel good. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm doing something.
You're doing something,
Right.
right? That's
Yeah,
right. Good.
Absolutely.
Good.
Yeah, we had last year, I think I have one girl is going to St. Francis to play volleyball
Nice.
from the team. So that's always exciting to get to see them go further.
Right.
You know, past high school. And I think for volleyball, at Southside, we're kind of moving towards that goal. A lot of girls want to do it, don't necessarily know how, or so it's just as a coach too, trying to figure out that part of it to help them go on after.
So I want to transition a little bit into Canterbury.
Okay.
Basketball at Canterbury. How's that going? Don't you get that smile on your face? Talk to us.
Okay. Last year, I was hired to be the varsity girls basketball coach.
Okay.
And then we ended up not having a team.
That was
due to
disappointing.
numbers.
That's
It
very
was
disappointing.
Extremely disappointing. Like, and it was kind of weird because I went from a situation to having 30 girls come out for volleyball, and half of them didn't know who I was. And then it's like, well, why aren't you guys coming out? Like,
Right.
I'm an alum. I
Right.
know the system. I
Oh,
know,
wow.
you know. And then
Yeah.
like I got 5 girls looking at me like, we'll play. Like,
Yeah.
I would love for you to play, but what can I do all season with 5 girls?
Right.
You know.
You couldn't find one more? They couldn't find one more?
No.
Did they try, the girls?
Yeah.
They couldn't find one more girl. What's the population of Canterbury? Any idea?
Like number wise?
Yeah,
Well, high school wise,
the high school level.
there was what 90 that graduated with.
Yeah, I
Sydney's
think that's like the
class?
consistent.
So
I'm
if you
thinking
just do-
90 or less for a graduating
Yeah,
class.
so if
So
you
I'm
just say
thinking it's
90
around-
times 4, it'd be about 360.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's around 300, 400 kids.
More probably 3.
300.
Yeah.
Just being honest.
Yeah. Okay, we got about a minute left.
You got to ask one more question.
I got to get one more. I got to get a basketball
One more question.
Oh gosh. Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, got to move fast.
Gotta move fast,
Basketball
gotta move
question.
fast.
Basketball question.
Got to get to the
Don't
question.
rush me. I'll get nervous and I'll call a technical. All right, basketball question. 2, 5. Okay. A player is disqualified. That's a heck of a question.
Uh-oh.
If he or she has been charged with 1 technical foul and 4 personal fouls. So if they have 1 technical and 4 personal, they're disqualified. True or false?
False.
Okay. She don't get any candy on that one, does she?
No.
1 technical and 4.
Counts as your 5th foul.
Well, yeah, it counts
Because
as a
it
foul.
counts as a personal foul
Yeah.
as well.
Technical counts
so
as
if
a
you get
personal
if you have 4 and your 5th one is a technical,
You're out.
Yeah. Or if you have 1 technical and then you get 4 more, you're out. Yeah.
Well,
5 is 5.
5 is 5.
5 is 5.
Yeah.
But you know what? You did a good job. Good job. Unfortunately, we're out of time.
You can have another piece of
Let's
candy.
say I want this. I want that. Tanya said I could have it. Thank you.
Whatever. All right. Thank you guys for joining us. Another segment of RefTime. Just want to tell you about the school that's coming up. We have a volleyball class coming up starting August the 4th.
Yes.
Okay, so that
Of course,
will
by the time they see this, we will have already started and ended it. So, but you can check it out. See when the next one is on reftrainingschool.com.
reftrainingschool.com. And of course, we do have Hoosier3on3.com, Hoosier 3-on-3 basketball tournament coming up. Our next one is going to be September 28th. It'll be out at Smith Academy for Excellence, the new school out
Yes, out there.
Yes. South. So,
All right.
Brittany, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate
for
having you
having
on.
me.
We can do this again, hopefully one time or
Yeah.
sometime.
Yes.
And you're gonna really earn your candy.
I
next time.
am. I'm gonna study.
Yeah,
I'm gonna know
right.
these rules. You're not gonna stump me this time.
All right. Thanks for joining us, folks. We'll see you next segment of Ref Time. Have a good one.